For GateWorld.net, this is Chad Colvin, and I am here today with Kavan Smith from Stargate Atlantis. Kavan, thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
It's been about a year and a half since the last time I sat down and chatted with you,
Okay.
and the character of Lorne has been given quite a bit more detail and depth since then. How's that evolution been for you?
It's been great. It's a lot of fun. It's great to be able to give character more layers than he was receiving initially. So it's flattering that they want to pursue the character a little bit, and it's a lot more fulfilling as an actor anyway. You get a chance to really create something instead of just have it all try and be in my imagination. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I get to do some things, so it's a lot of fun.
Is it helping to define the portrayal?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Anytime you're given any kind of action or any kind of background, it just really completes the character, or at least gets you a lot closer than you were initially. So it has helped enormously.
Of the appearances that you had in season 4, do you have any standout moments in your mind for the character himself?
Well, I think that the season finale was definitely a chance to show that a bit of a sense of humor, a bit more import to the team. There was a couple episodes. There was one where I get paranoid and pull the gun on Joe. That was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. They made a lot of fun at my expense because I had to run around a freezing cold soundstage with bare feet for 3 or 4 days. Ooh. So it was kind of a drag. Martin would decided that anytime he wanted to play with me, he'd say, "Okay, well, we're going to do this scene in your bare feet." So now every scene is threatened to be in my bare feet.
I also saw a little bit of, in one of the episodes, a scene between you and Rachel Taylor,
yes.
where you talk a little bit more about your character's family life.
Past, family life, right, on the Wraith ship, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it was fun, but little bits like that, like I think it was the season prior where you discover that he's a painter in his past, and his mother used to teach painting. So when you find a bit more about his sister and her offspring and things like that, all those little things add up and just give you a bit more to play with and a bit more depth. So the audience isn't just kind of guessing like, oh, what is this guy all about? You got a bit more to build on, and it makes it a lot more dynamic.
Mm-hmm. That episode where you find out that he is a painter, that was Sunday.
Yes.
3, yep.
Yep.
And it was written by Martin Guerra, who is a phenomenal writer.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a fan of his episodes?
Absolutely. Martin is one of the guys who actually writes Lorne in quite a bit, so I love Martin. I love Martin quite a bit.
Now, was that his concept, having Lorne be the painter, or was that something that...
No, I mean, I always try and get them to give the guy more depth, and I don't really care what it is, per se. I mean, I think sometimes if an actor has too much say in what the character does, it ends up being too much like the Kavan would be, mm-hmm. As opposed to what I think the character would be. The character was invented by somebody else. All his traits should be invented by somebody else, too, and then I just do my best to incorporate those traits and make something interesting out of them.
We got to see Lorne in some real command roles as of late, both on SG-1 and Season 10 in Road Not Taken, where he's the alternate universe leader of SG-1.
Yeah, that was
and
a lot of fun.
Also in The Last Man, here this last season finale, as leader of the SGC. Is Lorne ready for a promotion, in your mind?
Well, he's a major, and I think if you want to, because it is television, we got to suspend belief a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's very unlikely in the military that I would be made a colonel or anything like that at my age. So a major is really but as realistically as far as we would go right now. Yeah, why not? Let's have a promotion. I think a general would be good. 3-star general. And I'll just take over. I think it's a good idea.
Now, fans have dubbed in the past previously his first name is Marcus. I know we talked about that with you a little bit before. Mm-hmm. But in The Last Man, we see that his first initial is E. And it's been confirmed by some of the production staff and writers since it was cut out of the episode, but that his first name is Evan.
Yes.
Do you have a preference as to what you would have preferred it would have been?
The only I know that the fans kind of had this thing about some bizarro names, and I was fine with anything that wasn't bizarro. Like one was Spansky, and I don't quite understand what the hell that was supposed to mean. But anything would have been fine. I think Evan's great, and I know an Evan. He's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think are some of the reasons that fans identify so much with Lorne? What makes him real?
I think he's kind of that sort of faithful, loyal guy that everybody kind of knows. You don't know too much about him, but you kind of like him. You want to know more about him. And he sort of represents the everyman, I think. And I think a lot of times, not being one of the key guys on the show or the leads of the show, it's nice to be able to have some guy that, is just sort of the steady constant and I think he represents it. I think it's a bit more approachable sometimes for people, even though they want to they deify some of the leads and stuff, and think, oh man, I'd love to be so and so. But I think it's more realistic sometimes to say, yeah, that Lorne guy, I can understand that. I sort of lived that life myself. So he's a very approachable kind of guy, I think.
Season 5, filming recently commenced a few weeks ago, and we know we're going to see you in the premiere in Search and Rescue.
Yep.
Have you been confirmed for any more episodes as of yet?
I think they've shot, sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but I think we've done, 6 now?
We're moving on to 6.
Moving on to 6, and I've done 3 or 4. 3, I think, maybe.
Just prepping 6 right now.
Prepping 6 right now. So I think I've done 3 so far. And the first one was a lot of fun, a lot of rubble. The continuation, obviously, Search and Rescue was a lot of fun. I can't say anything about that. I can't say anything about any of them, but I've been in them. In fact, and to be the truth is, I don't remember what happened anyway. I shoot it, I go home, I get drunk. Anyway, what else you got?
Without going into spoilers, do you know how much of a role Lorne will play in them? Anything increase?
Well, I think that in this past season, his sort of taking over as the second in command militarily speaking, they sort of defined that a little bit more in detail. So I think that, anytime that Shepard's off doing something, I think that there's an opportunity to have Lorne sort of commanding a second team somewhere, and I hope that they give that some definition and give it some depth.
The character's come a long way since the first time we saw you back in season 7.
It really has, yeah. So we'll see what happens. They haven't killed me yet, which is surprising as hell. I'm still around.
You're not a doctor.
Not a doctor. No, not yet. No one dies on the show unless you're a doctor. So if I end up going to med school in the next episode or something like that, then I'm dead.
Be careful.
Yeah.